There we go. Is that better? Shit. Sorry about that. Well, this is what happens when you don't do this for about a month. It's been that long. I think I think the last time I was in the studio here was August 27th. So let me go through that again. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Todd Rains here in Allen, Texas. Good to have you here, and good to be back. As I said, it's been over a month since I've been in the studio. I had this all torn down, had to reset it up, so I forgot to change the batteries in the bloody mic pack. So it's always something. I think I got everything else working, though, so we'll see as we go through. And I got my AC working, so that is the other bonus. So let me go through. I'll go through everybody. You kind of saw who they were. Michael, Earl, Ted, John, Duckett, Robert, another Robert, and David, Ian, Bennett, Glenn, Lowell, Charlie, Lee, David, Spike, Glenn, Larry, and let's see. Then I got to the no sand. Can't hear you. Thank you. Lance, good to have you here. If you haven't caught up already, I spent the first 2 minutes talking to nobody because I forgot the mic pack. So this should be good now. Let me just double check settings here. And audio seems to be going through fine. So at least on this end. Let me get to the bottom of the muted. No, batteries, audio. Okay, sound. Got it. Yes, better. Thank you. All right. Okay, can hear you. Good. It's wonderful to have the audience participation. So thanks very much for doing that. So I appreciate that. Hi, Cindy. Good to have you here. Thank you. Hopefully you missed the first 2 minutes. My friend Steve, thank you for joining. Good to see you too, or have you here. Kevin, Roger, a few other names. There's Tony, our friend Tony. Good to have you here, Tony. Thank you. Okay, so let me move on. Now, black screen. I don't know what Derek's seeing. Did you turn off the monitor? Because I don't think I did. Oops, Cindy. Didn't mean to really click on that one. So, Derek, hopefully you can fix your black screen because I think I'm okay here. So let me show you what we're going to look at today. So this side, there's two pictures. I don't know if you can tell, but if you have a guess of what these are, put them in the comments because we'll talk about them in a minute, and I'll show you the overhead view. Let me get down here. And here they are. This one, I've taken the bark off this one. It was kind of loose. So if you have a guess of what that is, let me know. And this one is there as well. I'm not turning it over because I got information on the other side. So let me know what you think these might be. Put your guesses in the comments, and we'll talk about it, and we'll see if anybody gets it. But these are woods I have not turned before. So I'm kind of experimenting. Small pieces that I got. I actually got them last year at the Rocky Mountain Symposium from Roger Howard and his wife. Can't remember her name now. Anyway, Cindy, let me know. Were they there this year? A couple of weeks ago at Rocky Mountain Symposium. Howard, I know. Roger has been having some health issues last year, and hopefully they. There you go. I don't know how she knew that. She did. But she is right. Cindy is right. That is sumac on the right. So sumac, and this one weighs 13 ounces. It's very dry. So guess the other one. And but let me know, Cindy, if Roger was not there. That's too bad. Okay, hopefully he's doing okay. Don't know, but he's out of Minnesota, somewhere up the middle of nowhere. With lots of land and lots of wood and stuff. So he usually comes down to Rocky Mountain Symposium to sell. And I bought stuff from him every year, except I didn't get up there this year. So we know what this one is. It's sumac. Guess on this one. This one I will say is, like I said, this is 13 ounces. This is 21 ounces. So density might play a factor in what you guess that might be. So as we go through that, let me look at a few things we're looking at today. So let me put that back on there. There's how you get a hold of me. Everybody should know. If you don't, go check out woodturningtoolstore.com and sign up for the newsletter, and we'd be happy to have you here. Do I have that? QR code. Yeah, look at that. Newsletter sign up. Look at that. All right, we'll leave that for a second. And on to the next one. So I made that a little too big, didn't I, Cindy? Look at that. Let me take that down. Cindy does live streams every other week to mine. So every week you'll see one or either of us. And so next week is Cindy's turn. And should be a lot of fun. Not sure what she's going to do. Oh, is it? No, it's not our... We have a sharing session coming up sometime. I don't know when it is. Let's find out. Freenet interactive sharing session. Do I have that? I think I wrote it down. Friday, October 11th. Look at that. I did. So next week is our sharing session. So no Cindy by herself. You're going to be Cindy and me on a Zoom invite. So the only way to get to those is sign up to our newsletter. So either sign up to mine or Cindy's, and you'll get a Zoom meeting invite the day of or the day before. And it's going to be fun. It's interactive. It's a show and tell. It's also answering questions and that kind of stuff. So this is Friday next week. And then the day following that, Cindy is doing her demo, October 12th, Saturday, October 12th. This QR code will take you to cindydroser.com. I made it just a bit, I should make that a little bit shorter. So I'll do that for next time. So check that out. Ornaments with finials. So that should be a lot of fun. I'll be co-hosting as usual. So sign up to that. It's a perfect time of year to work on ornaments and stuff like that. So it's always good to practice finials. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Saturday the 12th, the day after our sharing session. Just worked out that way. We'll do another sharing session in November. It's 5 weeks apart. I can't remember what the date is for that one. So that should be a lot of fun. I do have... It's kind of redundant now, but there it is, banner. And then in October, on the 19th, so the week following Cindy's demo, we have Vendor Showcase. This is a free and interactive Zoom meeting. Registration for that, I don't have that here. So maybe Cindy can drop a link in the chat. We'll see. Let's see the comments. Yes, so here's the sign up by woodturningtoolstore.com or Cindy Drozda for our newsletters. You'll be informed about this event as well. And then in my newsletter, I put a link to how to register. So that should be good. Thank you, Cindy, for dropping that link and the sharing session as well. Anyway, Vendor Showcase is 6 of us vendors getting together, having some fun, and doing some mini demos, showing our tools off, any specials we might have for that weekend. We make a collaborative or a collective, so we've got, I think, two collaborative turnings that we've done between the 6 of us somehow. Not quite sure how it's all working out, but those we take and we auction off during the event, and we're going to auction those off to raise money for a charity. This year's charity is the Kiwanis Club up in the Michigan side of things. Lyle's very active with the youth programs with the Kiwanis Club, so that's where we're heading our money. Last year, I think we raised a couple thousand for spring, I guess it was. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Oh, no, this food bank was a couple of years ago. Anyway, I can't remember. Cindy might remember, so we shall see. So, hey, John, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Another local guy. Appreciate that. Let's see, Vendor Showcase registration. There you go. There's the registration link. Should show up in YouTube as a hyperlink, so you can use that. I don't know if it does in StreamYard, but Ian's guess is American Boxwood. I don't think so. Look at that one. Karen Drennan. Do you think it's Ironwood? That's what I was told. It's Ironwood. So if we go back here, we got Ironwood 1.5 pounds or 21 ounces. So little piece of ironwood. I've never turned it before, so it should make good. It's nice and solid. I don't see any cracks in the pith or anything, so we should. So the experiment today is really to see the difference between. I know this is going to turn a lot softer, and this is going to turn a lot harder. So we'll kind of see that difference. Also, let me know if anybody knows, are there any sort of prominent allergies from sumac or ironwood. I've never turned either one, so I'd like to know if anybody's had a reaction to those kind of things. Steve said crepe myrtle. That's a good guess. It kind of does look like a crepe myrtle tree, and there's plenty of that around here. And I have turned crepe myrtle. It turns nice. It's actually a very good turning wood, and stuff like that. So, although getting bigger pieces is not always easy. So yeah, good to have everybody here. So let me get going. Did I finish? I did finish the slides. So check those events out, and we will. What am I doing next? That one, I suppose. So first of all, like I said, I took the bark off the sumac. I used my skew to get most of it off, and then this little wire brush and my electric drill just to scrape off all the remnants so they couldn't get off. So that worked relatively well. You can see bug tracks throughout it, but underneath the bark, but nothing really going deep that I can see. So it should be pretty good to turn, and there's a few more bug cracks in the hole there. So we'll see. That might be that branch going in there. Some bark inclusion, bug inclusion, who knows. So we'll turn that one. I've already marked the centers, and I did that using my caliper, my dividers really, and just by eye. So there's a couple of things we could do. Let me set this one aside. A couple of things we could look at this. It's kind of an odd shape, and it's not quite cut straight, but that doesn't matter. So I've done a lot of natural edge stuff where we get a funky rim shape based on this out of roundness on the top. So we could do that. Well, if we did that, and I've got the center here, we'll see a very low point here and high points here. So that almost is reminiscent of a pouring vessel, perhaps. So it could be something like that, a little pouring cup. It is end grain and it is sumac, so I don't think it would hold water that well, but maybe for rice or beans or something like that, or some dry goods might work. We could do that. We could just round the whole thing off on the outside, turn the outside, and just make a nice round vessel or a cup, pencil cup, or something like that. So I'm not sure exactly what I'll do. I don't know if I'll finish it today, but I may pull out the hook tool and depending on how we go and do that. So, but I chose the centers to give me the place that is going to be closest to the sides on either side of that spout sort of thing. So that was kind of my idea there, was to make sure that those sides are kind of equal there and there. And then the back side was kind of equal as well. And I left this to be long out there, so that's going to go away or whatever. So, or not go away, but make a high spot here. Did I say low spot earlier? I meant a high spot. So, and so that's why I chose kind of there. It's close to the pith, but it's just off center from the pith. And so we'll get a nice round sort of shape there, and then a spout action there. So same thing on the bottom side, just finding the round part that's kind of generally the center of this sort of off-center piece. And that was really it. And it's on about the same orientation of the pith here on the bottom as the top. And so that's how I did that. Kind of the same thing on the ironwood piece. Just generally trying to get the center on all of this. I didn't really consider this branch cut here at all in my figuring that out and stuff. So I just found the center on both ends. I didn't take this one over to this way at all. I just centered it up. So this might be a I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if we'll get to turning that today. We'll see. So there we go. And like I've not turned for a month, and even that was kind of limited turning. So we'll figure that out. So I'm going to mount this this way so I can make this the foot, because I do want to hollow this side, I think. So we'll put that up on the drive center and the live center. And we'll turn some wood we've never turned before. At least I've never turned before. Why didn't that get out there? I cannot see very well with these glasses on, these safety glasses on. All right, move that out of the way. I do have a new product in the shop, something I actually bought quite a while ago, and I'm testing it out. I bought it quite a while ago. I just set it up this weekend, past weekend. And for the first 10 minutes I used it today, I'm really liking it. So I'll tell you more about that maybe in the months to come. But that is what we're looking at. Let's see. Was Cindy say, oh, that's the type of ironwood that grows northeast of USA. My sister has it on her property. It turns nice, not anything like desert ironwood. Okay, good to know. Ironwood walking stick, so I hear. Karen says in Vermont we call ironwood the hornbeam, the same thing. Hop hornbeam. I've turned hop hornbeam before, so if that's anything like it, do I have that piece? Because it looks a little different than the hop hornbeam I have. And again, I got that hop hornbeam from Roger Howard at the Rocky Mountain Show. I don't see it here. Maybe I used it up, or maybe it's in a box somewhere. But anyway, it is very nice stuff too. It's very hard, not necessarily hard, but very tight grain wood. So that's a good call, Karen. Thank you. So, oh boy, Laverne, you're getting technical on me. Genus and species signify the more than calling something ironwood. Very local in the world, very variety of ironwood. To me in Manitoba, it's hornbeam. Yeah, hornbeam, ironwood, probably pretty. They have similar properties, being very dense. Yeah, I got some hop hornbeam from the same person, Roger Howard, some years ago. The bark was totally different for sure. This bark is very much like crepe myrtle down here. The hop hornbeam actually had a traditional tree bark that had brown flaky craggles in it and stuff. I don't know what the word is. I do need to just thought about something I needed to do. I don't know what it is. We'll get to it. I do have my dust collector up because I expect this stuff to be a little bit dusty. I'm going to turn a tenon on this end. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to measure that is going to give me about a 3. Excuse me, I'm going to switch cameras here for a second. Let's go wide shot because I'm going to move my overhead camera a little bit. I didn't want you guys to see the jiggles. All right, and back. All right, so this is going to give us I can do about a 3-inch tenon. So I got these guys set up. These are 3-inch, right? No, why is that so small? Oh, that's okay. I tell you, it's been a while since I've used my tools. We'll do the small piece. We can do a smaller 2-inch tenon. I think we'll be safe. Let me that one. Where's my, I'm sorry, I'm searching for chucks and jaws to see what might be the best to use. I always like to make a tenon if it's a sacrificial tenon, as big as I can get it for a more secure fit. I have one here, and these are 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/8. So we'll do those, and that's pretty shallow. So we'll do a smaller 2 1/4 inch tenon there, perhaps. And I did sharpen tools. I just haven't used them in a long time. I'm floundering here a little bit. Sorry about that. It's hard to get back into the swing of things when you've been away from it for a bit. So didn't see anybody saying anything about allergens of these two. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll find out. You haven't turned a month. Are you sure you still remember how? I don't know. We'll figure out. Oops, that was a mistake. The links. Okay. Well, maybe. Jerry, good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. So we're about to turn a little bit of this sumac, and I gotta put the tool rest a little bit wonkified. Move that in a little bit. All right. Lathe is on. All right. And the wood database only has a problem with poison sumac. Thank you for checking that, Gary. I don't know what kind of sumac this is. Hopefully it's not poisonous. All right, getting a little bit of wobble there, just a little bit of vibration. So I've got a little 1/2 inch bowl gouge. The tool, I'm feeding the tool kind of slow because we are rotating kind of slow. And it's coming off very powdery, very dry. So it smells not bad. So I'm okay with how it smells. Did they get a fresh cut all the way around? It looks like we did. So end view there, sort of wide view. I just put a couple of circles on there in pencil just to kind of give me a general rough estimate of where I might be. And if we look at that, which one is I have not. So this middle is about the right size. Is that in focus? Kind of. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, that works. So we'll turn down to this middle line, which might you see better here. And that looks to be about 2 1/4. So we'll get there, then we'll kind of decide if that's the depth of tenon we need and the shape we need. Yeah, trying to get used to where everything is again and do this is kind of, yeah, that's about the right size. So now I want to create a tenon there. I don't need it too deep. My jaws only require about 4 millimeters of tenon. So we'll make another pass and get a little bit deeper. Get there. And I'll get a skew. Don't have a handle on this one. I'm just going to hold it and kind of push in. For a tenon, a dovetail tenon. See how this stuff scrapes on end grain? It's a little torn out. I'm going to try and scrape that a bit more to see if we can, because I'm worried about how the inside's going to scrape, if I have to scrape the inside. So we'll do a little bit there to experiment, see how this scrapes. This is kind of what I like to do with new woods that I haven't turned. So bear with me as I move this camera a little bit or zoom in. I do have autofocus on that. It's working all right. That's a Panasonic. I don't expect that from Panasonic. All right, so this outside rim is scraping quite nice. Didn't cut across the grain very nicely. This was the bowl gouge. This was the negative rake scraper. So it looks all right. So we'll continue scraping the rest of this and get it all looking like that. So taking a small bite at once just so I don't have too much pressure on the tool. It is coming off kind of dusty. My tenon is too, well, that was not good. Okay, Panasonic. Yeah, that's not good. I've got to take that out of focus. Bear with me a second. These are all the things you kind of forget about. I had this, using this camera for, actually, let me do this so you guys aren't, what's this one? That one looks all right. I'll switch there. That's not in focus either. We're doing well here. Let's see. Can I focus that? That's not so bad, but if we have this here, focus plus, oh, wrong way. There we go. All right. And then while you're looking at that, just give me a moment. Let's see if I can't figure out how to get this out of focus. Manual focus. There we go. All right. Excuse me. There's the first sneeze from Sumac. Sorry, I did that right in the mic, but a little bit of dust there. All right, so wide camera back there, and we have to autofocus that, or sorry, manual focus that now. And I have to remember how to do all this stuff. And I get better with practice, so. All right, so now let's go look at overhead for a second. This tenon is a bit too long, so I'm going to have to take that down a little bit for my, it's a bit too long for my chuck that I want to use. All right, so we'll leave the tool rest there, maybe drop it a little bit. And just use the bowl gouge to kind of bite into the end grain here. Basically scrape it away. That looks pretty good. And I'm just going to knock that corner off. a little bit. That corner of the tenon gets a little fragile, so I just kind of knocked it off a little bit. If we zoom in, it's not even knocked off that much, but it gets a little fragile. You see it's breaking off a little bit there. So that should look good now. Let's put that in the chuck. If you read my last newsletter, you saw that I picked up a few turned pieces for our collection, my wife and I. A few people from SWAT left me with some stuff, and it was very kind. There was a piece from Lionel Bedard that he turned, a beautiful bird's eye maple piece. Lionel is from Ottawa, Canada, and he and Jim, I forget Jim's last name, Williams, come down from Canada almost every year to SWAT, which is a long drive, but they drive a pickup truck and take a boatload of wood back with them. So I asked Jim about that, and he said, yeah, sometimes it's a difficult thing to get across the border with the wood, but he hasn't had a problem so far. So we've got a big. I got so many things to do. Didn't realize how busy this keeps you. So we've got a big Axminster chuck with these tower jaws or hollow form jaws that I just happened to be about the right diameter that I needed. And I just almost didn't make that fit, but that will work just fine. All right. So we've got, I don't need the live center anymore. I really need to do some maintenance here. This live center, I've got some rust building up. I had to on my quill and my tailstock, but this was rusting up too. So yeah, I got some maintenance. I think while my AC was out for probably a month, because we weren't here for a good amount of September, and we had it off, there was some definitely humidity rust building up in my shop. So that's one thing about an AC in your workshop, is that it will dehumidify as well. So something to think about. And so it looks like we need to face this off, maybe flatten it. So that'll be our first challenge here with this really wonky piece, a lot of air and a little bit of wood. So let's take that gouge, maybe a bigger gouge, just to I have a big 40-40 gouge, so handy. So that's what we'll use. The last gouge was a robust with a 55 degrees long wing grind. This is a 5/8 40-40 gouge. I'm not really used to these very much with doing this kind of air wood sort of turning. We'll see how it goes. I can see the ghost right there. Before I do that, I should move this a bit closer, maybe, if I can. That's probably pretty good. I want to bring this back a little bit, so I have more. I want more rest out this side to stop my hand from kind of crossing that line. So if I zoom out a bit more, so I've got more rest back here. And I am way in the way there, but that's all right. All right, we can move that this way. This is a big tool, and my tool rest is a little high, but I've got a stop collar on it, so I can't go any lower. I usually use a 1/2 inch or a 5/8 gouge, and this one is a little bit big. I have to kind of angle the handle up to kind of get to the center. So I got most of that flat off. Now we got to get out to this, or most of the round area flattened. That was a big bite. Not quite all the way out there, but close. And not quite level. It's a bit humped in the middle. Go a little faster. Cuts easy enough, this sumac, but it just is really dry and it just is chipping up. So, all right, I think we're all the way out there. We're a bit humped in the middle. Yeah, just a little bit humped in the middle. So one sort of clean up cut with, so I'm using the heel to kind of feel my way. God, I can do that, can I? Yeah, looks all right. We'll do that. Can't do that. I've set this camera on auto as well. So let me just spot focus that guy. All right. So that should stay in focus up there now. All right. So using the heel of the tool to find where I'm at, bring it all the way back. Seems a bit lumpy right there. So maybe we'll take another pass. You notice how that center broke off a little bit there, but we're going to be hollowing this thing anyway. But that's something to be aware of, is how it's cutting. So it's not bad. I think I'm going to, do I bring a scraper out besides that? I did. I've got this. I want to scrape this face before I kind of move on to hollowing. And I'm misplaced my, oh, I put it up there. That's what I did. Yeah, you know, you put stuff where it's not supposed to be, and you think you're clever, and then you know you can't find it next. So I got to put that back down there. All right, so I've got my half round bar. I don't have it in a handle. I'm going to see if I need it or not. And I'm going to scrape this. It's kind of a shear scrape. I've got it at an angle. So we'll do some in the middle, see how it feels before moving on to the other air wood part. Let's see how that looks. Not too bad. We got nice out here all the way around. So I think it's looking good. This center part's going to be hollowed anyway. I got a little tear out right in the center there, but that's fine. I just need to finish this area out here. So it'll change the orientation of the rest a little bit. Make that a little bit easier for me. All right. This, since I'm going to do a sort of a natural edge on this, whatever remains up here is going to be the final surface, unless I sand, which I try not to sand too much during demos. Just a bit more right around this knot, this branch. It's coming out. It's a bit bouncy. That's the hard part that I'm bouncing on right there. And tempted to kind of put my hand on there, but I got to stop myself from doing that because it's going to hurt. So that looks okay. I've got a little bit of tear out this other bad end, this dropped end, or the front end of that hard stuff. So I don't know if I'll be able to get that. I'll try a little bit more with the scraping here. It's a little bit bouncy with this tool. A flat tool would probably do a better choice here. This round shaft tends to kind of bounce a little bit when you got uneven wood surface. So I just didn't bring one out of the drawer, so a flat scraper. That's not too bad. I'm happy with that. So let's just carry on and drill this to depth. Did I bring my... Oh, man, I wasn't anticipating what I was going to do today. Let me just stop, take a look at the comments, and see kind of where we're at. We are... Do I have a... We're 45 minutes in, and Ward says hi. Good. And yeah, speed would certainly help. Get past that. Absolutely, Gary. Good call. But I think for what we're doing right now, I'm happy with that. That's okay. That's good. Let me sneak in here. So we'll leave it there for a second. Let me turn this off, and you won't see what's behind the hidden drawer. Oh, well, I got this thing. Let me use that. All right. Just reached into the tool chest behind me. Got a Morse taper drill. Let's see, which mark are we going to use? That one looks good. I need to re-highlight that. Right there. That drilled fairly easily without having all these small chips in the drill bit. It didn't clog up. There's no moisture in there to clog it up. So that's kind of nice. When you got moist wood and drill, your wood's going to heat up. Moisture's going to evaporate to steam, and that's going to swell everything up. And so if you got dry wood, not such a big deal. So that's pretty good. Let's do a bit of hook tool, and we'll pull this inside out. All right. I need an adapter, and do I have? I think that'll work. Not very organized for this this live stream, but as we get back into the swing of things, we'll get better at that. So I've got my hook tool bar, and let me turn that one off here, and into my handle, and on the end we've got the Hosler hook tool. And this is an end grain tool for hauling. I think I need another. I had only had a 8-inch section of handle there. I'm going to add on another. See if I can get away with 12. Let's do 12. I can't fit 16-inch here. This might not even fit. Nope. That can move. Actually, I'm going to move the headstock down just slightly. Give me a couple of inches. All right. Hook tool use. Get yourself off there. I set up the tool rest, so I'm resting on the bar, not the hook, and have the handle level. I want the hook to enter the hole. I need to raise this up just a little bit. And then the hook facing down. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Come back this way a little bit. So with this hook facing down, call that 6 o'clock. We turn it just slightly to 6:30 and we come out. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to, do I want to move that? Probably. Since I have the tailstock swing, I might as well use it. Very, very nice. Now, normally I would set this up so I'm turning off the end of the lathe, but I have to stand next to the lathe to get this in the camera shot. So that means my handle's going to swing way over here, so I'm going to be using a bit of leverage. Don't need to go super fast, 1500 RPM. And in there, and let's see if I can get that in there. I think I changed position, so that's probably out of focus a little bit. Let me double check that. Yeah, bear with me as I get that back in focus. And maybe that's the wide shot. And that's the close-up. So let me put that there. All right. So again, hook tool in, and just pulling out when we twist it ever so slightly. I don't think we're going to get to the ironwood today. I'm having too much fun doing this right now. Just opening it up down there and then scraping up the sidewall. Let's see how we're doing here. So we're getting thinner here and thick, and then this can be really thick. So we'll have a bowl, and this will be the high spot. Maybe not the ideal. Might be a handle for pouring contents out one side or the other, the thin spots. So we'll see how that goes. But it's always kind of fun just to see how shapes form when you hollow them out, especially shapes that are kind of not round, like this piece of sumac. So I'm just kind of guiding on the bottom and pulling sideways, and then scraping up the side. Engaging the cutter on the bottom. Yes, let's do that. A little bit of light down there would help. So I can get the cutter on the bottom, come over this side to get the cutter engaged, cut across the bottom. And then get some of this material out of the way. I think that's going to be about the diameter of the cup down there. Yeah, so that's looking good. And then we'll flare it out at the bottom. And that's relatively smooth across the bottom. Got a little lump right here I got to get rid of. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is let me zoom this out a little bit. Wrong way. Oops, too far. Sorry, folks. Camera moved. I'm going to now flare out the rim, but what we could do, we could stop at this point, make it a cup, carve a little handle in here and have a cup. So I think that would be kind of cool. You got kind of thin sides. If you can picture it, you're holding here, you're drinking out of this side or this side, depending if you're left-handed or left-handed or right-handed. So that would be an interesting use of this thing, but I'm going to flare this out until we get this whole rim a live edge. So, and I'll flare out just this last sort of half inch or 3/4 of an inch. And we'll leave this sort of straight walled, hopefully. We'll see how that works. All right, so just taking light cuts. Once you start hitting air and wood, it gets a little bouncy. You kind of have to hold the tool very steady. Move the tool rest back a little bit so I have some room to pull my handle out. So you kind of see how the edge is going to undulate based on the shape of the wood. We just got this last little bit to get covered, and this curl up will break off and sand off the other way when we finish. So. Just resetting my feet and hands a little bit. Don't think we got it all, but pretty close. A little bit left here just on the tip, and then we'll have pretty much our little vessel done. So one final pass. And what you'll notice maybe in the overhead, I'll widen out a little bit in the picture-in-picture, is I'm keeping my handle kind of in the same orientation. I'm not swinging it. And so what that does is give me sort of a chamfer or a very straight line on my cut. If I was to swing my handle, then this would curve. Just like a bowl gouge. You follow the bevel, and if you want to cut a straight line, you just make a straight cut. So some of this is chipping out a little bit more than I wanted. And we've got a little bump right in here I need to kind of fix. Maybe this is a time to hone, get it one sharpened up. So a little sharpening right up the middle of the gullet of the hook tool. Most of the cutting action happens right right at this intersection, right there, right in that corner of the tool. So that's mostly where I'm going to hone, up and down inside that gullet. All right, let's back there, picture-in-picture, and maybe a bit more speed, not much. That felt better. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, so a little bit of tender sanding. I have a little piece of 180 might do. And let's go overhead and bring this way. So bringing this stuff back over and kind of sanding it off is going to save our edge. And it's nice and glass smooth along here. It's very nice. And then in here, I would probably finish up with a bit of scraping in there, get a negative rake scraper, and finish that up. But that, let me just do this for a second. Oh, that's silly. Just take it off the chuck. I want to take a look at it a bit closer. So that kind of gives you an idea. of what this little thing is going to be. So I need to go a little bit deeper, but we've got a nice sort of shallow rim. We could carve the rest of that out for a spout if we wanted to. I think that might be a cool idea, so I might do that. But I can go a little bit deeper here, round this out. Sorry, hollow this out a bit better. The hook tool has got limitations in terms of diameter to depth, about equal at a 45-degree angle to get this bevel on the surface of the wood down there. The handle starts hitting the side, so you're in there kind of like that. So, but that's kind of what we did with that little piece of sumac. So I'm going to finish that off camera. You'll see posts of that maybe in Instagram to follow. And where am I at here? There we go. Let's see. Catch up on these. Laverne, thanks for joining. Let's see. So Rick says, wouldn't a force limit take out considerably more? Yes, it would, but then you lose the fun of using the hook tool. So to each his own, whatever they like to do. Gary says, I'm happy to see you're using a hook tool. I think it's underappreciated in Western wood turning. It is. This is the Hoslock hook tool. As Gary asked down here. It's Michael Hoslock. He fabricates them and sharpens them in his shop in Saskatoon up there in Canada. And I sell them down here. So if you're interested, check out the website. You can find them all there. Thanks, Lance, for joining. Thanks, everybody else, for joining. So David is asking a close-up of the hook tool. Will do. Let me get off there. I'll show it here. So there it is. The shaft goes in about an inch. It's about 8 millimeter diameter shaft. The hook tool comes around and it swans out to the side and comes around. So if you use it in this orientation and stick it in, you see that the hook cutting edge is off the side of the tool, so you will get torque over. That's why I use it facing down and just twist it up a little bit. That cutting edge is in line, so you get no torque over. So, and it does really well for end grain hollowing. That's primarily what it's used for, in both a bevel rubbing cut as well as a scrape. So hook tool sells like $45, and the bar is extra. So Peter's got it right. It looks like the hook is scraping on its side of the piece. If you push the handle away, hook can slice the wood for, yes. So I was doing a bevel rubbing cut down at the bottom, and I could do it up the side. I wanted to get a straight side. In order for me to get it straight side, as I had this on here, my handle would have to be over here. And so I would need to kind of be off the end of the lathe to do that. So I may do that off the lathe, but I may just end up doing the rest of this with other tools. So it's not quite so deep. So yeah, but absolutely, hook tool. You watch my tutorial, you'll see how it bevel rides, cuts, and does a tremendously smooth cut when you ride the bevel, so to speak. This very smooth here, as I was a bevel rubbing cut, so this is all very smooth. Can start sanding. A little marks there, tool bounce marks, but 180 would probably start sanding that, maybe 220. Good questions. Let's see. I think that is all I have. Jerry says, I have both your hook tool and the scraper, but yours seems to work better. Possibly operator problems. Possibly. So give me a call, Jerry, if you have any questions. We can walk through it and look through the video as well. So as I get back, Lowell, thank you. Scott, thank you. I appreciate you joining. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. And Scott, Ian, Michael, and Scott, thanks everybody for joining today. That's going to wind it up for me here today. Thanks for the patience with my return to live streaming. It definitely has some muscle memory that gets lost. And sumac. So ironwood, maybe we'll get to another day, and stuff like that. But look forward to seeing you next week at the sharing session, at Cindy's demo, at vendor showcase. And I think I have a demo coming up this month as well. I haven't published that yet, but that'll come out soon. So look forward to all of that. Stay in touch with the newsletter. Stay in touch on these live streams. Send an email if you need any questions answered. Otherwise, everybody have a great, safe weekend and have fun and be kind to one another. Bye bye. Where's that stop button? There it is.